Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketer. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry podcast. And I am Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers. And as always, I'm here with my lovely co-host, Elisa Dillon. And today we have a special guest, Asaf Herskovitz of gndiamonds. And it looks like you guys have been around for quite a while, maybe over 35 years. And so welcome. I'm glad to have you finally make this interview happen. So thanks for joining us.
Of course. I'm so happy to be with you guys and, just excited to communicate and to talk about what we're seeing out there.
Fantastic. I'm sure it's always busy. Got a bunch of shows coming up. You just probably finished off a big JCK, and you're part of all the groups. So I know all those are coming up soon. IJOs, RJOs, and everything else. So you're always busy, and looks like a lot of people lean towards you guys, and you do a lot of education and so forth. I guess one of the things that a lot of jewelers are facing a lot of challenges. And what is it that's most challenging for jewelers selling diamonds and fine jewelry?
So there's a few things, right? And this year is definitely different from last year. So first of all, Guy and Elisa, thank you very, very much for having me. For those of people that do not know gndiamonds, we're a loose diamond wholesaler that specializes. We have the largest inventory from half carats to 10 carats for independent retail jewelry stores. One of the reasons, my whole career, gndiamonds is dedicated to helping out independent retail jewelry stores. So it's a really, really good question. There's a couple things that we're seeing out there. So yes, we just came back from JCK. We're part of 6 different buying groups, 11 different trade shows a year. And I'm proud to tell you, Guy, even in the midst of all of this inflation, we just came off from the best JCK show that we've ever had in our 27 years of history of being in the United States.
Wow.
And then another 20 in Israel. So I'm really, really proud of my team. And it's just, it's an indication of how strong our industry is, because during that week, there was a market meltdown. Every single day, the market was going down 500 to 800 points. And with all of that and the inflation news, and it's not last year, people have confidence in buying natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds and investing in their business. So I'm really, really proud to tell you that our industry is more resilient than most industries. So that's really, really important to talk. The question that you had is what we're seeing as the challenges. What we're seeing challenges this year more than last year is independent retail jewelry stores being shopped more than last year. Last year was more like fishing with grenades, and it was easier to fish, it was easier to sell. And this year, what we're seeing out there is discounters, if it's a Diamonds Direct of the world, or people shopping against Blue Nile or James Allen, and also shopping between stores. We're seeing people negotiate more than we ever have. And it's really, really important, just like in any industry, is to give the end consumer, number one, confidence why they should buy from you. Most of our jewelers have been around for a very long time, but when they're competing against another very strong brand, you have to have a point of distinction to explain why they should buy the diamond with you over somebody else.
Right.
So one of the things that we really, really take pride in is bringing added value to the table. And for example, 4 years ago, pre-COVID, what we've done is we took a leap of faith, and I'm going to actually show you this, and we send our diamonds, besides the GIA, okay, and AGS, and EGL USA, but predominantly 99% of our inventory is GIA, we send our diamonds to a third-party science called Gemprint. And Gemprint is basically a third-party science to validate why one SI1 or why one SI2 is nicer than the other. So, it's a blind item. So what we've done is we've created basically the carfax of the jewelry industry.
Love
right?
it.
So you're not buying a used car without a carfax. You want to know if the car has been into an accident, if it's been serviced. What this is, it brings transparency within seconds to allow the jeweler to give that end consumer a point of distinction why they should buy their $5,000 diamond from them over somebody else.
Wow. That's a great tool. And
And
you've
I'm gonna
been,
actually, I'll show that to you guys in a little bit.
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, and it looks like obviously that's very helpful for people to be able to educate their consumers, their people buying, and it's a big purchase. Like you said, cars, people do a lot of research, and diamonds are a little bit more elusive to the typical consumer because you don't see information about diamonds coming across the commercials while they're watching Wheel of Fortune or something. It's a lot more. There's not that much information when it comes to just the general public and consumers. So education and knowledge that the jewelers have really helps them, gives them a lot of artillery to educate and sell and basically give that consumer trust in them that they know what they're doing and they're providing an amazing product. So that's amazing.
I want to show you guys something, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to share a screen.
Absolutely.
So, as we know, tell me 1 second if you guys can see the screen.
Here it comes.
Right?
Yep.
Unlike other industries where it's Amazon or Best Buy, there is 10% difference in between the products. Where we have a right of survival as family-owned businesses is because the confusion of what you're seeing on my screen, right? Somebody goes online before they go into a chain or an independent family-owned business or a discounter, and ultimately on the same page, on the same brand, they're seeing a 70% gap difference. So when they're seeing the same color, same clarity, and seemingly identical diamonds, and they're able to see the same color, same clarity, and there's a 70% gap difference, it's confusing. So what we've done, and what you guys are looking at right now, is an interface that we've created for our independent retail only. G & Diamond only sells to 5,000 independent retail jewelers. But the nice thing about it, we've created this because we talk to 2,500 jewelers every single day. So the truth of the matter is diamonds are a lot like people. And we take them through this easy to use platform, and you as on the other side of the counter can use as little or as much as you want. So for example, every blonde hair, blue eyes is not the same. Every person's different. Same thing with diamonds. So why is there such a gap difference? Let me show you why. So what we've done is we've created an interface where you can look at it and verbally communicate. And for example, what we're looking at right now is seemingly identical diamonds, 2 diamonds, both H, both SI2, both GIA, both really nice cut. But as you can see, there's one that is brighter than the other, and there's one whiter than the other.
Yeah.
So when you can show them that an eye color could look like an F, or an eye color could look like a J, you can have a diamond that has different inclusions.
Wow.
And then ultimately explain them that you have a third-party science validating everything that you're saying to them, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So basically, imagine you're presenting the diamond right inside of the store. Let me just show you how simple this is. There's no crazy apps. You have a Samsung phone or an iPhone, and you're able to put it on photo, and you're scanning a QR code that is in the back of the diamond. Okay, it could be on a regular diamond paper. And within seconds, you can prove why your diamond outshines anybody else's.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's some
really
cool
cool.
technology right there. And every retailer that you're dealing with, or this is offered to each retailer that you partner up with. Is that correct, Asaf?
It is. But the ones that we see that are using this consistently are just selling a lot more diamonds. It's proven to close double the industry's closing percentage. So again, let's just say you didn't want to show inclusions. The diamond's pretty enough. You're able to show a brilliancy score. You're able to give them insurance discounts. And 20% of the presentations, somebody wants to see a certification. So you're able to show that to them, a seamless sales presentation without leaving the customer's eyes. It's also good for appraisals at the end of the day if you're able to sell it. But here's something that the biggest thing that I'm seeing that is moving the needle is the fact that the end consumer, after the purchase, they're going back to their community, their friends and family, and saying, I just got engaged, but they had this cool little thing. Guys Fine Jewelers had this cool light brilliancy, and my diamond is an excellent. It's brighter than 95% of the world's diamonds. So what we're seeing out there is referrals also going up. And that's the gift that keeps on giving.
It's that extra little step that retailer is doing to connect to their customer. It's a fascinating tool. It really is. So cool.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And congratulations on getting it all worked out and out to the world. And I'm sure it's helping a lot of retailers. In your career in the jewelry industry, how do you think technology has changed to face the jewelry industry and people buying and so forth?
So, the biggest, hottest topic that we're seeing today, as everybody knows, is lab grown, right? So the fact is, and here's what I'm seeing out there with lab grown. A lot of people, some people are selling it. 50% of the jewelers are selling it. 20% of the jewelers are so on board. It's kind of like the Pandora days, where they're like, we're making Keystone, we're all in, and we're only selling lab grown, which I believe is a mistake. Like, if we think about it, we're here, we have an avenue, even going into a recession maybe, is, first of all, I believe recessions are not a bad thing, because if you're able to educate your staff, if you're able to bring added value, even if the consumer is spending less money, if you're in the first time bridal, that's consistent, right? There's 2.5 million Americans getting married. Ask me about the divorce rate. If 57% of the people get divorced, if they're younger than 40, within 2 years on the average, they get re-engaged. Okay, so that's job stability. It's amazing. If they're over 40, it's within 5 years on the average. Some people think they never get married, but they have a significant other, but they got to get a diamond. Within 5 years, they over 40 years old, they get remarried. So to me, that's job stability for the industry. Now, to answer your question about technology, lab has been around since 1952, HPHT rough. CVD, which is a little bit newer, has also been around since 1980. So how technology is changing, for example, what I'm showing you right now is I'm showing you an interface for natural and I'm showing you for lab. What I encourage jewelers to do is two different things. Number one, don't talk bad about lab or natural, but educate the consumer on a technology that has been around for a very, very long time, but the technology has gotten better and better and better. And what that means is it's becoming, there is a variation. I was very against lab for years. And we got into lab for only one reason. A lot of our jewelers, our 5,000 independent retail jewelry stores said, listen, Asaf, G and Diamond, we're starting to sell it and we like for you to get into it. But if I'm going to play, I play to win. So we have, in a year's time, have searched all around the world and for the brightest and the nicest rough. And we partnered up with Diamond Foundry, which is one of the largest manufacturers for lab-grown diamonds. Now, these guys are engineers. They're backed by hedge funds. And the difference between their machines is they created their own reactors because ultimately they're interested in the jewelry industry, but they're also interested in industrial purposes for diamonds. Now, what does that mean for quality of diamonds? Because they created their own machines, what I've seen is the brightest and the nicest rough for lab-grown diamonds. So what's really, really interesting and really, really important for jewelers to educate the consumer is that every diamond lab-grown is not the same. It's not CZs. It's not moistenites. I've seen diamonds that are gray. I've seen diamonds that are tinged blue. I've seen diamonds that are hazy. I've seen black piqué in a VS's, which is like, again, just like the natural diamond. There are certifications from different countries other than USA that they're not grading on the same kind of standards, even though they got the same letters on the name of the certification. So what we're seeing out there is a different quality. So if you can educate the consumer the difference between lab and natural and pricing and quality, I think that is an amazing thing for us, because what happens with lab is we're able to deliver to the consumer a different budget for a bigger size. But ultimately, when you can explain the 7 different processes of what a lab grown diamond, right now, jewelers are presenting diamonds and saying, this is $5,000. This is $10,000. This is $3,000. And they're making money and it's great. But I believe it's becoming a very crowded field. And if you don't educate the consumer why they should buy the lab diamond from you, I call it, this is a great way to say it, an above earth diamond or below earth diamond. Would you like a mine diamond or would you like above earth diamond? So,
I like
and if
that.
you can see the processes of CVD against HPHT, and a lot of them say, what's the difference between lab grown diamonds and CZs? And a lot of the sales reps inside of the stores were doing 15 to 40 trainings a day. They're not able to explain it. So we're doing a lot of education with independent retailers and the people really that touch the consumer, which is the sales reps and the managers, not the owners. Sometimes, of course, it's the owners. Owners sell 30 to 50% of the sales, but most of the time, there's other people inside of the store. So it's important for them to give a different life experience with education of the 7 processes, which is, there is the machines. Energy cost is not going down worldwide. Then you have engineers running the machines. Then you have the rough, if it's HPHT or CVD. Then you have to cut and polish it just like natural diamonds.
Yeah.
Then you have to HPHT make the diamond whiter by a treatment. And then you send it to the certification and with insurance and shipping. So when you can explain what I just told you, the 7 processes of what happens with an above earth diamond, a lab grown diamond, they're able to understand that there is a bottom to the pricing.
Wow, that's a lot of great information. Now, I've talked to a lot of jewelers, and there's a lot of technology, a lot of information that jewelers need to know. They have to be experts on, making jewelry, fixing jewelry, and so forth. What would you say is the for a small jewelry store just getting, and maybe not even thinking about lab grown, but not there yet, and they're wondering how's the typical sales process happen with the consumer when they're looking at diamonds, and then talking about lab or going bigger with probably for the same price. Is that an upgrade or not? Or how's that process work for the small jeweler that may not be able to spout out what you just said, which was really amazing, because they need to get training and get up to speed on that? Well, what's the process look like for them?
So great question, Guy. One of the things that we're doing today is we're creating a B2C interface, something tangible inside of a store where they can present it to their guests and actually show that process. What is the difference? Again, simplified ways to explain the difference between HPH. This is not what it's going to look like. It's going to look much more professional. But I want to show you, this is a friend of mine, Shane Decker, that has been on the road for 46 years. And this is something that he shares with the stores and talks about the 4 C's. And I love, to me, when you're presenting lab-grown diamonds compared to natural diamonds, you're presenting it the same exact way. It's just a different process. Number one, we don't want to cannibalize natural diamonds. Natural diamonds, and most jewelers don't know this, but for the past 50 years, natural diamonds have appreciated an average of 14% or so year after year. Sometimes it's stable for 10 years. Sometimes, like last year, because we printed up so much money, it went up 27%. But ultimately, I believe that we're merchants. We're buying and selling the things that we can sell today, tomorrow, next month, closer to Christmas. But at the end of the day, when you're able to present with visual and verbal the difference between lab compared to natural, and why mine diamonds cost more money, because they're rare. They're 1 to 3.7 billion years old. So what we've done, again, Guy, is we've created a whole process also for the lab. But this is really, really cool. So You talked about a small jeweler that might not have all the inventory in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What Diamond Hunt does, we right now have 9,000 natural diamonds, and we have 7,000 lab-grown diamonds on this platform. And what's cool about it, it's not connected together. You're able to qualify budgets, right? Because you're able to show, sometimes an end consumer doesn't always communicate with the store owner or the sales rep how much they're looking to spend. What they have done is they say, I'm looking for around $1.5 GSI2. But the problem is they're sharing with you the cheapest internet diamond, right? They don't want to get ripped off, but they're sharing with you the cheapest internet diamonds. And what we have to do as professionals is be able to explain why. Why do you think on the same brand, on the same color, same clarity, same Blue Nile, okay, or you're against Diamonds Direct, or you're against K's or Zales, or a different jeweler, why do you think there's such a big gap difference? Let me explain to you why. There's different quality, there's different birthmarks. You know what I mean? So people are a lot like diamonds. There's different characteristics to each diamond, even though it's graded the same. So what we've created here is, again, an easy to use technology, guy, that you can qualify budgets and be able to show somebody a diamond before you even bring it in. So you can qualify budgets a little bit more. Look at this. We're actually looping this diamond before you. I don't know, guy, where you are. I'm in Philadelphia. I know Alicia is in the Carolinas. So
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're closest to me. I'm in Philadelphia. So
I grew up in Philly, by the way.
You did?
Yes, in Kensington.
Oh my God, we're in 8th and Chestnut. So
yes, I'm familiar.
So we're able to, number one, help qualify budget. We're able to have somebody get committed to coming and showing up to their appointment. Here's the one thing that we're going to talk about in very, very soon is the fact that 80% of the consumers, when they go out shopping, they're looking to buy that same day. So it's so important to carry the right inventory. But if you're a smaller jeweler and you can't afford to carry the right inventory, you better partner with the right partner that you can present the inventory to buy you another 1 or 2 more days to get them into the store and to close the sale.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that loop on the screen that you're able to do for that little small town jeweler, I mean, that's just, again, find the right partner. And I mean, GN has all the right tools. That's so cool that you just loop that diamond right on the screen. That is amazing.
I appreciate it. It happened by listening to our retailers.
Yeah.
You know, our retailers share with us what they're looking for and one of their pain points. And we like to come up with added value that can help real life situations, right? So, for example, even with a lab, you're able to show insurance discounts, right? So right now, we didn't have the light brilliancy, but we have insurance discounts. So even with something that is less money than natural diamonds, you're able to show it. And what's cool about it, Guy and Elisa, is also you're able to text it over to them before they leave the store. So what did I just do right now? Look at this. I'm going to send it to your cell phone. So imagine I'm a small jeweler. I'm in Missouri. Customers coming in, and I don't have the right product right there and then. They didn't give me a heads up. So we're qualifying that they're looking for a 1-carat natural diamond or a 1-carat lab. They want to see both. I'm able to show them and present to them the budget and to explain to them the education part of it, right? Like every diamond's not the same. And there's different clarities and there's different cut and why it's brighter. But now I'm able to capture their cell phone information. Look, I just sent her the link.
Right there. And I am going to click this link. It says your diamond detail came right in. It tells you all about the return of brilliancy, the Gemprint fingerprint system. Look at that, right at your fingertip.
Hey, Asaf, I think she wants to give you a credit card right now.
Yes, because that's a really nice, I love it. Yeah, take my money.
I like real solutions that can help them make more money. You know, how to grab more market share. But you know, I'm so proud. You know, we build our business from small independent retailers. Yeah. And they've seen us grow, but we've seen them grow. I've had jewelers that were doing $300,000 by appointment only, and today they're a $2.5 million store, and they're finally making money. and they're making money. Their salespeople are happy. And when you're able to grab market share, you're able to invest in the most important asset, which is our people and education and redoing a website. So we're continuously investing back into our inventory. We're continuously investing back into giving them sales tools. I want to show you one last thing, because you're saying, okay, everything is great, but I don't like change, right? And you're saying, one second, is you're able to have education on referrals, So we have videos that will help them understand within a minute, how do I explain to the consumer how to explain the light brilliancy or the insurance discounts. So when you're able to do trainings every single day with stores, they're able to get the confidence to present it the one way. So what I'm showing you also right now is another thing with technology that we offer to our jewelers. See, one thing that we've learned during COVID time is it's so important not just to sell them the diamond and the wedding band, but also to sell them staples that they buy all year long. And what we've seen is studs. And again, I'm not the expert, but Focus, Edge Academy, Big, they're the experts. And what a normal jewelry store, independent retail jewelry store should be selling in diamond studs is anywhere from 7 to 12% of total revenue in studs. Here's the crazy opportunity that I see. Most of my jewelers are 1 to 3%. So when you're also able to show with visual communication what a diamond stud costs and what you can get in for tomorrow morning, you're able to change the way that you're selling a lot more diamond studs. If it's a 3-prong or if it's a 4-prong, if it's a staple bracelet, which is so cool. So that's how technology, I believe, without changing the way that we're selling inside of a store, you're able to grab a lot more market share and to make more sales and more profit.
Wow.
That's great. That's great. Hey, you said you deal with 5,000, if I'm remembering properly, 5,000 or so small independent jewelers. And obviously with any business, there's a risk. But I see that you have something, a trade back guarantee that helps jewelers. How does that positively benefit the jeweler and give them the confidence to go out there and sell more diamonds?
So around 3 years ago, I changed banks because I said, the one thing is, if you sell a product to an independent retail jewelry store, and again, this is only on our natural diamonds, but on our natural diamonds is, if it's not good for you, it's not good for me long term. So we're a family-owned business just like you. I didn't grow up with money. And when we started out, we didn't have a lot of diamonds. So when we sold a diamond, I have nobody doing that for us, but we kept on putting more diamonds into it and getting bigger and putting 3 carats. And then we sold 3 carats, then we cut and polished 4 carats, and then we did 5 carats and then 10 carats. But the one thing that is so important, like you said, is to give independent family-owned businesses the confidence to buy something that if they bought 3 diamonds, now again, nobody's taking unnecessary chances, but if they bought, let's just say, a 70-pointer, a 90-pointer, and a carat and a quarter, they already have a 1 carat, and they sold the carat and a quarter, they sold the 70, but they got stuck with a 90-pointer. We're taking it back dollar for dollar towards their next memo call or towards their next purchase if they want to switch it out for a faster selling merchandise. They want to replace that 70-pointer, that carat and a quarter. So what it's done, it's changed our business, but it also changed our retailers' business because it gave them confidence to say, somebody's got my back. Yeah. It's a real partnership, because if I buy a diamond stud or a bracelet from them, I never own a 2-carat, $5,500 wholesale that I could sell for $9,000 diamond studs. But I know there's people in my community that can afford this. I know that Sally and Mary would love this for their next birthday. But you know what? What if I don't sell it? So if you could switch it out dollar for dollar, not 3 to 1. Some people do 3 to 1 finished jewelry, but nobody does this on a loose diamond end of it. If there is, there's one other company. Okay, so one other company from 1,000 other competitors. So I believe that our point of distinction is not just having pricing and the largest inventory and sales tools, but if you're able to partner with a retailer and let them sleep good at night to say, I got the terms, but if I don't sell it, they'll switch it out, that's a real partnership.
Yeah. That's what you want. Wonderful.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I also saw that you put out on Southern Jewelry News the demographic information, around the country, income and so forth. How does that help? How does that help the jewelry industry um, in general, or what's your motivation behind that?
I love this because, sometimes I'm just going to put GM down so you guys can see it. Let's see. So my motivation with that is the fact that we have jewelers are telling us today more than last year that they're slow. Okay, and the one thing that I can tell you is, yes, sometimes we're slow, but when you're able when you're able to explain to them that in any part of the world, okay, um, excuse me, in the world, any part of the United States, that 5 to 6% of the population is in the market right now to buy a first-time bridal or to get re-engaged. So, for example, Guy, what part of New Jersey are you in?
Northern Jersey, right outside of New York.
Okay, so besides the fact that within 10 miles you have New York City, you probably have 100,000 people in your town or 50,000 within 2 towns away. So
Yep.
imagine you're a jeweler in Montclair, for example, New Jersey,
Yep.
and you're like, you know what? I don't get it. Business is slow. It's all about mindset. If you understand that if you're in a 100,000 people town, or if you're in 50,000, okay, let's just take, if you're in a 50,000 person town or within surrounding area, 2,500 people are in the market right now to buy a diamond. Now, they might go to a town over, they might come to you. So, how are you trying to work without breaking the bank again? Because we're not Bank of America. How are you marketing $50 on Facebook and Instagram to people in a relationship? So, people not married, not single, in a relationship. So, you have a better chance to spend $50, which every store can afford, to try to bring in an X amount of people with a call to action at the end of that
Yeah.
Facebook advertisement. So this is why we show demographics information. So this is one. Number two, did you know that in most part, again, one of my largest accounts is in the third, again, it's not a very wealthy state, but they just out execute anybody else. They're in Arkansas. And we know them, it's Sissy's Law Cabin. They're an amazing group, just an amazing
So,
people that execute better than most other jewelry stores. But when you see again, when you work in not just your, and as now it's any jewelry store, what I'm seeing out there with demographics is, number one, you can call your clientele, you can call people that have trusted your brand before that you haven't seen in a year, and try to create a sale. But you can also go out, let's just say, to that lawyer or realtor or doctor or business person or restaurateur in that town, whatever town you're in, even in the smallest towns in America, and you're able to create a sale with the 2 carat diamond studs or an upgrade for a 4 carat cushion. So there's so much wealth out there. So when jewelers say, listen, it's a little slow, I ask them a question, what are you doing about it? So when you see the demographics and when you understand disposable income, and when you see first-time bridal people in the market to buy a diamond for second anniversary, or for second marriage, you're able to change the way that you're marketing. You're able to change the way that you're performing when it's slow, and you're able to go out to your community and create sales, not just be able to take care of them when they walk through your door.
yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's it looks like you really provided a lot of great information, a lot of resources and technology to your customers, and really supporting them, which is amazing. And so while doing the research for this interview and reading about your company and so forth, I did see that you deal only with independent jewelers. Why just independent jewelers? What is it about independent jewelers that you wanted to focus in on, and not service the chains, and get that large PO from these companies. What is it about independent jewelers?
So I love this because this is what really drives me. Being a family-owned business, I like supporting family-owned businesses, right, and growing with them, and it's a real partnership. And that's really what Southern Jewelry News and Mid-Atlantic News, it's what we dedicated our career on, to help family-owned independent retail jewelry stores. So number one, I never understood why, and again, it's short-sighted because 99% of vendors out there, and that's why there is billions of dollars on Blue Nile and James Allen and Rare Carat. And I never understood why retailers, where they know that vendor is selling to the e-commerce or selling to the chains. The biggest competitor, when you ask an independent, who's your competition? And what they're going to tell you is Sterling, which is Kay, Zales, Jared Galleria. Now they own Diamonds Direct, and Pearson Pagoda, which they're rebranding. And that's their number one competition, but it's also Blue Nile. It's also James Allen. Now, Blue Nile, because they couldn't make it online, are now opening up independent retail jewelry stores for multiple reasons. Number one, thank God the end consumer wants to feel and touch it. Mm-hmm. Number two, they also, the return is anywhere from, people don't know this, and it's a great selling tool inside of the store when you're going up against e-commerce, is 12 to 15%. So if every 15 cents of every dollar you sell, somebody's returning it, people don't want to return it back in the mail. So that's why they're also opening up independent retail jewelry stores. So to answer your question, Guy, is I believe in loyalty. I don't get, even if we get a chain came to us and said, we want to do business with you. The bottom line is, I like family-owned retail jewelry stores that support us and that are loyal to us, and we can be loyal to them. And that's really what drives us. And that's why I believe GN Diamond and the independent retail jewelry stores are still passionate about growing their business. We're in the first inning. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those jewelers are standing, it's a $50 billion diamond industry in the US alone. $50 billion. And there's only around, I think, Alicia, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but around 15,000 independent retail jewelry stores.
That's right.
15,000, that's with like salons that might sell some tchotchke jewelry. That's not real jewelers. But ultimately, independent retail jewelry stores are retiring. But I believe that there's so much opportunity for the ones that are passionate to grab more market share, and I'm excited about the future.
I contest. I've heard a lot of jewelers when I'm at trade shows. GN's booth is always pretty the first booth that jewelers go to. But there's a sense of that partnership that you find with that independent. They become your family, and I think that's where that might set you apart a little bit. But this industry is all about relationships and that family atmosphere, and concentrating on the independent jeweler like Southern and Mid-America Jewelry News do. That is our passion. That's our focus. And it's great to see, a large diamond company really focusing on the independent. They're the heart and soul of this industry, those brick and mortar mom and pops, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Asaf, I have a very important question for you, but I would like for people watching this, could you stop your sharing? Because I want to get you much bigger on the screen while I get this. It's okay. We can there you go. Perfect. Now I'm glad you did that, because I want to ask you something really important for me, and I think it's really important for everyone. You built an amazing company. You have a lot of passion and energy about what you do. I can tell. Anybody can tell. Even without talking to you, looking at your website, I can tell you have a lot of passion and energy for helping people, because you have so many resources. What is it about you? Why do you do it? Why is it that it is so important for you to give resources and help the independent jewelers?
I wish we had a visual camera of my staff. I always start out my meetings with my strongest asset is the people that work for this company. Yeah. And when I see not just the celebration when a jeweler wins a sale over their competitors, and that we were able to help them not just put bread on the table, but help them also grow their business. I love growing a business. I'm an entrepreneur working out of a wholesale office, but ultimately, when I see us growing, or when I see the jewelry store, independent retail jewelry stores winning, and when I see a young staff member of mine, a sales rep, or somebody that's been with me for 22 years, and they're like, "Stop, we did it. Or I'm getting better. Or I'm able to, like, this guy gave me this letter that I was able to help them." I mean, there's nothing better than that, guy. That feeling of success, or that feeling of being able of a partnership, and a true partnership with the independent retail jewelry stores, you can't buy passion. I mean, I have a sign in front of me that says you can't deposit excuses. And the truth of the matter is, it's really, really fun to see that the independent retail jewelry stores are not just surviving. We're one of the only industries in the world, right? Like, look at the pharmaceutical industries or anything else. We're one of the only ones left standing that family-owned businesses and second generation and third generations are coming in, hopefully, or great managers are taking over the business or buying out the owners. We're able to finance their businesses and be able to help them. So it's what moves me.
That's amazing. That's great, and love hearing about your story and the company. Elisa, you think there's a good resource out there in the world for people to learn about GN Diamond?
Yes.
that was a lot
like
for
that.
you.
Thank you so much. Well, I do hope everybody will pick up the Southern and Mid-America Jewelry News paper. You usually will see the beautiful belly wrap band that's around there that will actually tell you everything that's so awesome about GN, and it's right there on the front page. And sign up for our e-newsletter. Asaf's always giving great marketing tips, how to sell more to consumers, and also all the articles that they provide. Again, it's just educating the independent, and they do. He's a mastermind at it, that's for sure. So Go visit him online, give him a call, look at Southern Jewelry News, and there's plenty of ways to get there.
Yeah, Asaf, it sounds like you're a very busy guy with a great company. I hope you have some time to relax and have some fun sometimes, because that's important too. I don't have any other questions. Lisa, do you have any other questions for us?
I think we covered it all. I just want to thank Asaf. I've known him for many, many years now. You can catch him on our webinars that we do. He's doing stuff with Bill Warren and the mastermind classes. So there's lots of opportunity to grow your business with Asaf and GN Diamond. So keep an eye out on that. And again, Asaf, thanks for joining us today. I think I've got everything covered. I really enjoyed it. Every time I talk to him, I learn something new. So, and I've been interviewing him for years, but it's always fun to see the new things they're doing. So we appreciate your valuable time today.
I really appreciate both of you guys, and it's so awesome to see that this podcast could hopefully help independent retailers, and and we'll continue. Hopefully, we all continue to grow and be successful. So
sounds great.
And we'll have you back. We'll have to have you back.
I would love it. We have a couple of really cool B2C interfaces for natural, lab, and finish that I believe will be game-changing for inside of the jewelry stores.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. Well, perfect. We'll definitely look forward to that in the future with you here on the Pearls of Wisdom podcast. Thank you, Asaf. Elisa, thank you. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Have a great day.
Thank you, Guy.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.